How are you, mate?
I'm pretty good, Mike, thanks.
You get a bit anxious when you talk about this?
Yeah, I am. The difficulty with my issues with this, which has affected me, my health over the years, there's been no closure for this. Questions have never been answered by Ms Gillard. Very important questions that AW members, in fact union members in general, would expect answers to be provided, particularly now that she's Prime Minister of this country. The day that there is closure on this, which is not too far away, I hope, is the day that I'll start living the rest of my life.
You've been offered inducements to shut up.
Yes.
Well, tell me that one.
When these matters were first uncovered, that's the false bank accounts and renovations and properties being bought with union members' money and houses being sold and money never coming back to the union members. It was scandalous, and people were running around. I say people, I'm talking about movers and shakers in the ALP, trying to pour cold water all over this, because not only was it detrimental to the overall union cause if all of this was disclosed publicly, but also the ALP would have been badly burnt by it. So enormous efforts were made, including by Robert Ray at the time, was a federal minister at the time, trying to hush people up. Some people decided to remain with the union under the understanding that probably they had a guarantee of a job for life by keeping their mouth shut. Others went into politics. For my own position, and I don't want to be seen to be taking the high moral ground here, it's never been about that with me.
What has it been about?
It's been about getting justice. It's been about holding a position in a union, as I did at the time, a responsible position. It comes with it legal obligations. And there was no way that I could turn my back on the principles that my dad brought me up under and sell out not only union membership for self-gain. I was offered a seat in Parliament, kept my mouth shut, safe seat in Parliament, seat of Melton, which I declined.
But why did you decline it?
I declined it because I knew that had I have just even for a split second thought, this is a bit of security for my future, while I do what the rest of them are doing, this will all be covered up, no one need know about this. And I thought, well, what a terrible set of circumstances to go into Parliament under. I could not have lived with myself. That would have meant doing what Ms Gillard and a few others have done, and that's lived a lie for the rest of their lives. I don't know how some people wake up in the morning and not and feel as if they just can't confront the world, stay in bed today.
You got bullets sent to you in the mail?
I did, yeah.
How does that feel? Tell us what you go to the letterbox, what happened?
A little matchbox sized brown paper, little package, the size of a matchbox, open it up, 3 bullets in it. That was in the middle of a lot of pressure that was being applied to me at the time, including fairly vicious assault.
What happened with the assault?
It was around about the same time when the bullets appeared. Death threats, numerous phone calls I was getting, changed my phone number that many times back in those days. I just couldn't get away from it, and I went to the telemachine down the main street one evening, withdrew a couple $100. I just turned to put my money back in my wallet, and I heard this car screech to a halt, and it's indelibly etched on my brain. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. But that got my attention. I just glanced across at the car. It was a red Commodore, Poland, I remember that much. 3 blokes hopped out of it. One was still in the car driving, the driver. They raced over to me. I haven't got great recollection of detailed descriptions of them. I certainly knew what boots and shoes they were wearing, because they forced me to the ground and proceeded to lay into me with their boots, jumping on my back, and I just took defensive reaction, like the fetal position to try and protect my kidneys, etc. The matter was reported to the police. I went to the police and The police took my statement. They publicised it in the local paper, asking for anyone that might have witnessed the event. No one came forward. I did tell the police, even though it's not contained in my statement at the time, I did tell the police who I thought was responsible, but I had no evidence. I told them about the circumstances that I was involved in at the time, politics and missing money and corruption. And yeah, I got quite a bit of sympathy from the coppers. They were quite good. So much so, they ordered an ambulance for me and arranged for me to go to hospital. And they also took photographs of the bruising. And they were quite amazed that I didn't sustain some permanent injury. Yeah, so yeah, the bullets arrived at around about the same time as all that was occurring.
When you made a statement to Jeff Lee in the Parliament in Victoria,
yes,
and
2001,
and you came home, you've told me this story, but you tell me now, when you came out, when you went out the next morning, what happened?
The day after it was raised in Parliament,
Yeah.
and Jeff Lee tabled my statement. Again, I was trying to get this out into the open, into the public arena, get some attention focused on this,
And just
bring some people to account. So that's
Gillard's not Prime Minister. This is years and years and years ago.
Right.
So this is not about Miss Gillard.
No.
This is about the issue of the money, your members' money.
The fraud.
The fraud. Raised in the Parliament, what happened the next day?
I walked out from where I was living at the time and I was heading to the railway station, and I was physically threatened. There's a fellow waiting for me out the front of where I was living at the time. I'd only just moved to this location from where I was in Melton, and it's beyond me how they ever found my address, but anyway, it was a verbal threat. Thank heavens there was an elderly fellow across the road mowing his lawn, and I give credit to that gentleman, because had he not been out there, I believe I was lined up for another bashing. And I immediately went inside, rang Jeff Lee, I told him what had happened. He arranged for me to go around to the Flemington police station, which I did. I spent the whole afternoon there giving statements. And as a result of that interview I gave to the police on that day, they, because of the political link now, the fact that it was raised in the State Parliament of Victoria with my name linked to it, blowing the whistle, so to speak, the police then reopened the investigation that they had previously closed into the scandal, the fraud of Wilson, and the bodgy accounts and the missing money. And I think it was about another 18 months. I think I've given you a copy of the letter. The police wrote to me and said that
No evidence.
there was no evidence. So
Let's take a break, old mate, and we'll come back.